I wanted to change things up this week. We've been doing lots of very awesome interviews and talking a whole lot about life, but there's some major pop culture things happening in just the last few months. And so I wanted to bring on Morgan, who you guys may remember from a previous episode. Hey, Morgan.
Hello. Hey, Morgan.
We're going to talk
the other Morgan,
the original Morgan number 1 and Morgan number 2.
Yeah.
Here in the building right now.
I feel like I've been gone from the morning show so long that people don't understand why you're Morgan number 2.
Well, and I'm not anymore on the show.
Yeah.
Now I'm just Morgan.
It's like transitioned out.
Unless you're an OG and you've been listening for a long time. And so some people will still say to me, like, why are you Morgan number 2? I was like, there's another Morgan and she was there before me. And for some reason, we decided to go with 1 and 2 instead of different names.
Do you know that when you first started, I sent Bobby an email. I was like, you should absolutely call her Wichita. And that didn't take.
Oh, I tried to go with one of my 2 middle names and he was like, nah, number 2 works.
What's your middle name? Wait, your 2 middle names?
Yeah, I have Lane, Layne, and I have Nicole.
Okay.
And I was like, I'll take one of those as my radio name. That's fine with me. And he was like, no.
Honestly, it worked out the way it needed to. Morgan 1 and Morgan 2.
That's how we are. And that's where thing 1, thing 2 kind of came into play here on the show.
I'm a twin, so I'm used to being confused for someone,
Yeah, and you guys are both M's, Morgan and Megan.
Eminem, yeah, for sure.
Okay, so but before we get into pop culture, which we're going to talk Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce, we're going to talk The Summer I Turned Pretty. We've got a viral video, AI, just some fun stuff that's been happening lately in pop culture that I thought would be so fun for us to debate. But more than that, I want to know how you are and how life has been, because a lot of life has happened since you were last on this podcast.
Woo, what a loaded question. I actually, so for those that don't know, my twin sister was diagnosed with breast cancer November of last year, and her youngest had just turned 1, and she found a lump while she was breastfeeding, and she didn't put it off. She got it checked out, and it was crazy. I was actually in, not to go through the whole story, but I was in Arkansas at an event with Bobby at the university out there. He was announcing a scholarship, and I got a call from her the day of her mammogram, and just the tone of her voice, my heart sank. And the mammogram did not go well. She could tell that they were concerned, and they scheduled her for a biopsy the next day. I dropped everything, flew there to be with her at the biopsy, and they told her right after they took the samples that it looked like it was cancer. And it was just the most insane thing. Like, we went from never really having anyone in our close, family circle have cancer to it being my favorite person, my carbon copy, my identical twin. And she has 2 little boys and she lives far away. And it was just like literally my nightmare brought to life. And then we waited for staging. I feel like anyone listening who has gone through a cancer journey or diagnosis knows that those waiting weeks of getting all the imaging done to get the staging back are brutal. I mean, we didn't sleep at night. We couldn't eat. Like, we were just so scared they were going to come back and say it's all over the place and it's spread and the prognosis isn't good. But that wasn't the case. She did have triple negative, which is one of the most aggressive forms. So I'm really glad she didn't put the appointment off. But she was considered stage 2. She went through rigorous chemo, and
the Red Devil chemo too.
Yeah, they did 4 rounds of AC, which is, it's word on the street is Red Devil. It's really brutal stuff. And she lost all her hair. Like, she looks much different right now than she did before, and I think that in itself is like a whole journey being a woman. And she had a double mastectomy, and I've been back and forth, you've been a great supporter, Morgan. You were a real one throughout it. I had a lot of people reach out and say, hey, what can I do? But you were a person that texted me and was like, I'm sending food. Like, you've got dinner tonight. And I can't tell you like how much that means, because we had so much to think about that having one less thing was just incredible. So thank you, friend. That means the world.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it felt like the only thing I could do.
Yeah.
You want to do so much for people. And I know why people ask the question, what can I do? Because it feels like, well, I want to do everything.
Yeah.
And you don't know what's overwhelming. I just knew that food was like the universal language of like,
Absolutely.
I got you.
And you sent us like really great Italian food so we could carb load and just go into carb comas after. But yeah, she had her double mastectomy last month, and she literally next week gets her implants put in. So I'm going to be flying out for that. She did find out that she had a complete response to chemo. They couldn't detect any more cancer cells in the tissue they removed. They've deemed her cancer free.
Woo! The best news.
The best news. And I just pray it stays away and never comes back. She gets to live a long life and raise her boys. Like, I pray that every night. You asked me how I'm doing. To be honest, like, some days good, some days not good. It's just been crazy that it's almost a year. It almost feels, and people who've gone through this will relate, it feels a lot like how COVID felt when everything shut down, except it's only doing that for us.
And the rest of the world is moving on.
Yeah.
And you guys are experiencing it.
Yeah, it's just been not a fun year, and we've laughed through it. We've cried through it. And now I'm at a point where I'm like, dang, like all this has just happened, and regrouping and trying to move forward. And yeah, it's a day by day thing, but I'm very grateful that she got the all clear. Cause I mean, at the beginning, like I said, we laid in bed at night, talking to each other, crying, just worried we weren't going to have more birthdays together, and we just celebrated our 33rd. So very grateful.
Yeah. You had a lot of, I think maybe the word is like pre-assumed grief. You were expecting a lot of things to happen, and you were preparing yourselves for it to happen. I also know that you are going through too, if you want to talk about this, but the fact that she had it meant it's also more likely that you're going to get it. You are identical twins.
Yeah.
So that was also like happening while this was all happening, and all you wanted to do was be there for her.
Yeah. It's really weird to wake up one day and then your favorite person has cancer, and then you're being told, well, now you're very high risk and you need to go do all these tests. Fortunately, she doesn't have the BRCA gene mutation.
Okay.
But we are identical twins, and we have had all the same health issues like our whole life. Like, we got our tonsils out at the same time. We got our wisdom teeth. They grew in exactly the same way, which we didn't know we were identical until recently. And that was a big reason.
I saw your guys' video reveal.
Yeah. Honestly, that was a big reason we took the test, because I was like, how similar is our genetics? And it's identical. So
did that give you some relief or more confirmation? I guess, what did it make you feel like when you got the official result?
I'm just so excited that we are identical, because for me, we have been so close our whole life. And it just affirms to me that we started off as literally one. And it makes so much more sense now. But there is that part of me that's like, man, this could be coming for me. And it's kind of like that boogeyman over your shoulder. I'm not going to let it affect my life more than it needs to. I've gotten scans and everything looks good right now. I have a lot of theories. My sister had just, given birth, was breastfeeding, had a 1-year-old. And with the type she has, I've actually seen a lot of other women in similar circumstances where they've given birth and been diagnosed shortly after birth. And I don't want to freak anyone out. I'm sure there's an oncologist watching this, like rolling their eyes, like there's no credible data for that. But I've noticed the trend. So if you're,
it's always a trend that starts and then the studies follow, right?
Yeah.
Like, studies don't happen for years. So
exactly. So what I'm noticing is a lot of new moms are going through this for whatever reason. I think if I could say anything to the women who listen to the show, it's just, don't think you're too young. We were 32 when she was diagnosed, and she was probably younger when she got it, and do your self checks in the shower, lift your arms up, feel down your armpits, even in your breast tissue. If you have dense breasts, like, do a little research on Google of how to check yourself. It's just very, very important. But I'm not going to live in fear about it. And yeah, that's where I'm at.
And as someone who has an Enneagram 6, I'm really proud of you for not wanting to live in fear of that, because your whole thought process is worst case scenario.
I also felt a lot of guilt that she got it and I didn't. So I don't want cancer, but part of me goes, if it does happen to me, she won't have been alone in it. And I can find some good in that too, but it may never happen. Well,
and you can't live in fear of that.
I can't live in fear. I've been in enough fear last year.
Yeah.
I don't worry about myself like I worry for her. It's just totally different.
You guys worry for each other in the ways that you would likely worry about yourselves if you weren't an identical twin. And I think what's you have to celebrate right now instead of focusing on the worries that she is cancer free. You don't have cancer. That's it. End of story.
And we're going to do some living. We're going to do some living because we've been held up the last year.
Yes, it's time to focus on enjoying your guys' lives. And I just wanted an update because that's there. And there will come a time where I bring both Morgan and Megan on. We've talked about it. It's been something that we've wanted to do, but we want Megan to be here for that, not do it over Zoom or anything. So time will come and we'll really get into it.
I'm sure the day's
then,
coming soon. She's ready to get to Nashville and visit,
which will be so good. So we'll do that full thing. And I don't want to dismiss that whole thing Morgan's gone through because it's very important. I also want to give them both space to heal and now be on the other side of it until we talk about it. So
well, thank you for bringing it up though.
Yeah.
It's good for women to hear this for sure.
I know. And it's such a big part of your life lately. It feels like an elephant in the room when you don't talk about it. Like, how am I going to talk about pop culture when this is what's happening in my life?
So anyway, Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively.
This is what we're going to get into now. Okay. And dating front, is there anything you want to update us there?
Not dating anyone right now. I was dating a guy for a bit who lived in Texas while I was spending so much time out there. And he was a super nice guy. I don't have anything negative to say about him, but life has just been very hectic. And he was great in dealing with I don't know if I'm going to be able to come tonight. And then, my last minute stuff. And ultimately the distance was distancing, but I wish him the best. I'm not seeing anyone right now.
Okay.
So,
well, that's what I already knew these things. So just, the people had to be updated on what's been going on.
You gotta let them know I'm on the market.
Exactly. We're back here again, and she is still not waiting for a man to pick berries. Just FYI.
No, we are going to shoot ducks and deer.
Okay, the reason why you are really here is for us to talk about some fun things.
Yeah.
And that was great news because we found out your sister's cancer free, which is so, so big and should be celebrated. Hopefully we have a party when she comes here. I feel like that'd be fun.
We absolutely should.
Anyways, the main reason you're here is we're going to talk pop culture.
Okay.
And the other big elephant in the room is that Taylor Swift is now engaged.
That's crazy. That's honestly crazy. She struck me as a person who might not be totally about marriage. Do you feel that at all?
I don't know that I ever got that. I think because listening to her music for so much of my life, it was so much a lot of the experiences that I had gone through in dating that I was like, no, she wants love. She wants romance. It's just she keeps finding the wrong ones. And so I think and maybe it's me, projecting my life into her songs, but I feel like there was a part of her that thought it may never happen.
Girl.
So then it finally does. And she's like, oh, heck yeah, give me everything I want. I want all the romance because she found someone who was giving her romance.
He is such a departure from the guy she was with before. And I think I say that about not knowing if she was fully about marriage because she has been in some very long-term relationships. She was with the guy previously for 6 years?
Yeah.
I mean, I thought if anything, they would get married, but that just goes to show you don't need to date someone for 6 years. When you know, and he put a ring on it. And I'm very happy for her that she ended up with this super attractive big guy who could make her feel little.
And that is exactly what he's doing. He has brought her, I feel like, really into this feminine, romantic lover era for her.
Did you see the picture of his hands on her
grabbing
sides?
her? And she is just she's so small.
She's so little dainty. And that did something for me. It made me very happy for her.
You were getting secondary, I love this.
I absolutely get it.
And I really love too, because I was watching the New Heights podcast and I just love how he lets her be her and they match each other's energy so beautifully. Watching them together, he is just literally a golden retriever. He is.
Yeah.
And she is the black cat. And she has this powerful, just energetic, I can take over the world. And he's like, yeah, I'm right there with you. I got your back.
Yeah, they give opposites to me, like you're saying, in a way, but it works.
Yes.
Yeah.
In a perfect way, opposites in the way that matters.
And I also think that there's this big family component to it for her because the Kelsey family is super tight knit. And I have a lot of respect for that because they're super famous in their own right, And I think that that's something she references the nieces and stuff a lot. I think she's ready to settle it on down. What if she's having babies soon? That would be crazy.
Baby Swift.
A baby Taylor.
Well,
that would be insane.
Okay, I did see some comments about how Donna Swift, I guess, or Donna Swift. Sorry, Donna Kelsey. I'm already combining their names.
They all take the Swift last name.
Everything goes Swift. Donna was talking about accidentally like posted something she wasn't supposed to post and was like, Taylor's ready to breed. Well, okay. I don't know if it was in that.
That is so mother-in-law coded to post something that they shouldn't be posting, by the way.
I know, and I don't know that this is factual or if it's AI. Who the frick knows? But I saw this and I was like, you know what? She should. She's like the one person in the world who should. Her and Travis Kelce, I feel like, should absolutely breed if they so wish to breed.
They're going to have beautiful, tall babies.
Yeah. And either
not tall babies, but they will eventually grow to be tall.
Hopefully not a tall baby. That would be weird. But they will be either athletic or talented. There's no in between. They both have major skills.
Yeah, they're going to hit the genetic lottery for sure.
I know. But you know what I think about too is like, I saw this, and this was something that was like going through my mind. The reason so many people, particularly women, are very excited for her, and I don't know if you felt this way. My relationship with Taylor Swift is when I was, 10 or 11 years old, I met her at a free show in Wichita.
At 10 or 11?
When I was 10 or 11. She was like 15. We're like 4 or 5 years apart.
How old are you again?
I'm 31.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, she's 34 or 35, I think. So it's somewhere.
We've had her for a lifetime.
I know.
We grew up with her.
This is what I was thinking about. Like, I met her in this moment. Free show, she had not blown up yet, which was such a cool moment to now look back on. She was so sweet. She complimented me on my little sundress and cowboy boots, and my sisters too. And we just seen her at this like free show. She blew up weeks later.
Did she have a Southern accent when you met her?
I don't think so. I think she sounded the same.
Okay.
She had her curly hair too at the time.
Yeah.
But I think about that moment, and every really big life moment I've had in my life, she's had music for me for. Mm-hmm. And so my excitement for her and getting engaged, it like felt like a part of me was also getting engaged, like getting the thing that I ever wanted.
Yeah.
Because I had grown up alongside her experiences, which were also very similar to mine in different ways. Like either she knew it or she knew how to write about it. So I was feeling like we were going through a lot of the same things. Yeah. Just girl stuff and girls being mean, or then, you're trying to date and it's not working out, or then, girl power. Like just every moment of my life felt like she had a song for. So when I saw her engagement, I was like, this feels so full circle for both of us, and I'm not even in the engagement.
You basically got engaged too.
That's how it felt.
To an NFL tight end.
Exactly. Like we were all in that engagement. And maybe that's just a me thing. I don't know if you felt any way similar.
I get what you're saying about, it's kind of like Harry Potter, because they were around my age too. And I felt like I grew up with them through the films, right? With Taylor, I remember driving me and Megan to school, jamming out to 15 and that whole record in our red Pontiac Grand Am GT that we shared, shout out, and just singing at the top of our lungs. And it was like she had written stuff. She was a few years older, but by the time she released the music, I was 15, And so I totally get what you're saying of for every life season, she had music about it. And that's why I think I'm not a diehard Swiftie today, but I am very nostalgic for the early stuff. And I'll definitely go to a show if I get free tickets. I've been to a couple of her shows and they're just incredible. Like the Reputation tour was the last one I went to. But I didn't get to see her early on. That's crazy that you got to meet her before she really blew up.
I saw her that early, very, very early, like when she's still country Tay. And then I saw her Fearless tour, and then I saw the Eras tour. So I've kind of seen her in the different stages.
Fearless would have been a good one. I've seen, I went to the Red show at Bridgestone in Nashville, and then Reputation. Those are the two.
So you saw her like really two bright, big, like powerful eras.
Reputation was probably one of my favorite albums, and that's probably a controversial take. I feel like that isn't all the Swifties. They love like folklore and Evermore and stuff, but Reputation was just it had so many bangers on it. And that tour, Megan was pregnant with Cooper at the time at that show. I just remember when Megan was pregnant with Cooper, we went to Bruno Mars and we went to Taylor Swift. And I like to tell Cooper those were his first concerts.
They technically were. He was in the womb. It would have been really good if like Taylor Swift induced her then it would have been a great
Would have been
story.
way too early and very scary. Okay.
But
Too early. Where you're going.
But I'm actually with you. Reputation is my favorite. When I went to the Era store, you're supposed to dress up as an Era, and I dressed up as Reputation.
I feel like we're gonna get dragged.
Hopefully not drugged.
Hopefully we're
That
not drugged.
would be bad for both of us.
They're gonna drag us for this in the comments. That Reputation.
I don't think so. I don't know. I think everybody has their thing that they really connected with her on. I do also love one of her like latest album, Midnights. I loved Midnights a lot because it was more adult Morgan, and I really felt like a lot of the songs were screaming to a lot of things that I was going through. But Reputation holds my number one spot.
That Smallest Man in the World song, is that on Midnights?
I don't think so.
Fact checking here.
Let me look.
That's
Let me
Torture
go.
Poets.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it's the one after Midnights.
The first time I listened to that, I was like, I'll be damned. She wrote a song about my ex.
See, she has a song for everything.
She can still do it.
Yeah, that's on Tortured Poets Department. Yeah, that was a fact check. But also, it was really cute that she got to announce her new album on her boyfriend, now fiance's podcast. And while
On a sports podcast.
on a sports podcast. But while that podcast was happening, which was a monumental moment in podcasting world in general, and just for her, 'cause she's never done a podcast interview. But the fact that, and I still also don't know if this is fact checked, but I saw a news article that he had a crew setting those flowers up in his backyard while they were recording that. So they got engaged right after that
Are
proposal.
you kidding? Mm-mm. So she did a wardrobe change before the proposal?
I think they got ready to go out to dinner or something.
Oh,
and he was like,
wow.
let's go back. Because to my knowledge, he was like, let's go back out and have a drink. At least that's what I'm seeing all over social media. But during that interview, which was huge and people were freaking out about, they didn't even have the full information of what everybody was about to freak out about, really.
Yeah. That is so true now that you mention it. Do you think her proposal with like all the flowers and it being pretty private, is that your cup of tea, or do you want something a little bit bigger? I mean, that was big, don't get me wrong. But
Yeah.
that's not, I guess, public.
Public versus private.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love a private one. I think as long as my family and their family would be there after to celebrate, I'd be really happy. I don't need to, I could go either way.
Yeah.
Whatever feels the most natural for both of us.
Not
Like-
at a baseball game.
Yeah, not on a screen. Mostly because I don't even go to baseball games to begin with. So if that happens, boyfriend, if you're watching, please don't do that.
Can you imagine getting a text, get your nails done, we're going to see the Nashville Sounds?
I would be like, no, we're not. No, we're not. But as long as it's natural for us and it's what's meant to be for us, and like whether it's sentimental to our relationship or whatever, that's what feels the most good to me.
Yeah, like a special spot.
Yeah. What did you don't want a public proposal?
No, not, I mean, I wouldn't be fully opposed, but I lean more with what you're saying of I would want it to be a spot if it's public that means something to us. But I don't think I'm that hard. Like, I don't know. I don't really want a big ring. I don't want a wedding. I would go to the courthouse and marry somebody I really loved and wanted to spend life with. And that could be that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't have super high expectations of a proposal. Just that it has some thought behind it that's special to us.
Yeah, very sentimental. And it had me looking at wedding rings after that.
Really?
Yeah. My boyfriend was so funny in the car.
Did he? Was he like looking over your shoulder?
No, listen,
They're gonna clip this for the morning show. By the way, oh my
Sure.
god, Morgan was talking
No.
about getting engaged.
It was really more funny because I was like, I stumbled upon her wedding ring designer. I was just like going down a rabbit hole of everything.
yeah, as you do.
And so I'm like looking at all her rings. I'm like, oh, I guess I haven't really like thought in a long time like what young Morgan used to want for a wedding ring is definitely not what adult Morgan wants now.
Yeah.
And so then I started looking. I was like, oh, I like this one. I don't like that one. That one's kind of cool. And I was really just doing it from my frame of reference. And my boyfriend is just sitting there. He was watching something on his phone. He's like, if you would have told me a year ago that I'd be sitting here and Taylor Swift's engagement is a reason I'm now being talked to about rings, that was not in my possibility of things on the bingo card.
Hey, well, I've learned in the last year, anything can happen, good or bad. Be ready.
Yeah, literally. A lot of life can happen in that time frame. So it was like a really funny moment. I still don't know what I would want, honestly.
I don't either, but I kind of want a girl in my life to help make that decision. Either do just a straight up gold band, no diamond at all.
No diamond.
Or I lose stuff, Morgan. And
okay, but I feel like that is, you can still have a fake diamond.
I usually don't even wear jewelry. I put earrings in for you today.
Thank you for dressing up for us.
Again, like the material of it all doesn't really mean diddly to me. I would do just a band. Or if it's a diamond, I want somebody in my life to weigh in because I don't even know like what the cuts and things are.
Very simple, very you.
Very simple, not anything crazy.
I feel like I know a few things that would probably work for you just based on my rabbit hole that I went under.
Speaking of rings, I do not like the ring in the summer I turned pretty, Belly's ring.
I don't either. Yeah.
I would choose just a band over that diamond. You know what I mean?
It's very little. It's very promise ring.
Very, very high school. You just got your first kiss, like at the ballpark.
I promise to love you forever, and then you don't.
That's and very they don't, by the way.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. It'll last about 3 months.
Morgan, oh dear.
I had a boyfriend in high school give me a promise ring.
Oh, you were talking about spoiler alert for your life.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
But for yours too.
Yeah, but also I thought you were talking about the summer I turned pretty, and that's why I said spoiler alert.
Oh no. This has nothing to do with
Morgan hasn't even seen the newest episode. So.
Just if you're watching this and you're in high school right now and your boyfriend is giving you a promise ring, it's probably not going to work out.
Morgan, I had a high school boyfriend who gave me an infinity ring necklace and an infinity ring.
Those were big back in the day. So people were getting those tattooed on their bodies.
I know.
You know, there's at least 100 people listening right now with that infinity symbol on their ankle or wrist.
Why was that so popular then? Like,
and we stand with you. Actually, you were 10 toes down for that trend, and you haven't had it removed. So,
and spoiler alert, that infinity did not last to infinity and beyond.
No. Do you have any tattoos?
No, I don't have any. You
don't
either.
I'm like totally taking us off the rails. Like,
this is not pop culture, but our bodies are the topic.
I don't have any tattoos either, but me and Megan have talked about getting something.
A little twin tattoo?
Yeah, a little identical twin tattoo.
Oh, that's cute.
I'll keep you guys posted. It will not be an infinity symbol though.
I don't know that I will ever get a tattoo.
Okay, that's fair. You don't have to.
I've thought about this a lot. I think with Remy, you know, in 50 years, I may get one. If something
of Remy's
like that.
Like face?
Like, no.
Just Remy's face blown up on your thigh.
Face on my whole body. Like, I'm just a collage. No, like her little paw print or something.
Okay.
Or like a heart with an R. Just something for her or Hazel. But I still don't even know that I would do that.
You're such an animal lover.
I know.
You have such a good heart. I went to brush my teeth because this is afternoon and I wanted my teeth to be brushed for this podcast for some reason. I went to get your toothpaste out and I saw Vet's Best. I was reaching for it and I felt for that boyfriend of yours back in the day who used the dog toothpaste because you're a psychopath and you literally keep it right with your toothpaste.
Yeah, because I do it when I brush my teeth.
But I did see Vet's Best and I swerved it.
Thank you for reading, using your eyeballs.
I'm getting us off topic.
No, this is also really funny too because Morgan and I are very different when it comes to animals. We were both in Franklin. We had Hillary's bachelorette party that we did together and we saw this dog with a cute little hat on. He had little sunglasses. He was a bull terrier, like the Target dog. And his owner was sitting next to him on a patio and he had a fork and he was feeding the dog scrambled eggs off of the fork. And he was like, this dog will not eat like off the plate. He has to be hand fed it. And Morgan and
That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Sorry, bleep me. I don't. That's so stupid.
Morgan and I had completely different responses to this. I saw this, was like, oh my God, this is the cutest thing ever. That dog's living the life. Morgan, what you just heard.
You are making that meal about you at that point. That dog would eat off the ground.
Maybe not. Some dogs don't. Have you met Remy?
Well, you have spoiled her. That's that's my whole point is had he not conditioned that dog to not eat off a plate, it would be eating off the plate.
I know, but it's so much cuter when they don't.
And it was a hot day. I had some notes. I was like, it's pretty hot out here today. And you've got this dog out here with sunglasses on. You know, that's not comfortable on its ears. It looked a little overweight. I had a lot of judgment to throw in his direction.
You had so much judgment.
But it's, to me, that moment was like, when you see the horses carrying what do you call them? My brain is mush.
I don't know what horses you're talking about.
The horses in downtown Nashville that have the carriages.
Oh, yeah. I don't like those.
It's giving that to me. It's like, let the animal go be in its space. It doesn't want to be eating off a fork. I could hear its teeth scraping against the metal. Ugh.
I told you. Case in point, we're going to have much different viewpoints.
Sorry, I really just got so heated over that.
Okay, well, speaking of Summer I Turned Pretty, we do need to go back to this in the ring. But what is your hot take on Summer I Turned Pretty? Because let me tell you, set this up. Because season 1 I watched, now mind you, I did not read the book. So book lovers do not come after me. I have no reference besides the TV show.
Should we give a spoiler alert? Like, are we going to spoil anything?
No, I don't plan to. But if you feel like you're going to, maybe we should.
I don't think I will, but, better be safe than sorry.
Just be caught up on the show maybe before you fully keep listening to this. But I do not plan to, mostly because I'll get yelled at and punished on the show. Season 1, I was Team Conrad. Season 2, I was Team Jeremiah. Season 3, I started out Team Jeremiah, and I quickly moved to Belly, move on without either one of them. That's where I've been. That's where my emotional turmoil is set right now.
And here's where you went absolutely wrong. When they tried to make us Team Jeremiah after she had been with the first brother, what are we doing? That's when I started to develop a huge dislike of Belly overall. I'm like, you're going to date 2 brothers, 2 blood relatives whose mother is going through enough, and you're going to pit them against each other? Imagine.
Trust me, I know. I don't feel like this would it has happened in real life. We've seen stories, but more often than not, it doesn't happen in real life. This is definitely like a fictional tale that we love to just watch the drama.
Yeah, for sure. Me and my twin sister had a love triangle in high school for like 5 minutes. Actually, it was like 8th, 9th grade. We both liked the same boy.
And what happened? Did he date both of you?
Long story.
Wait, are you about to tell me you had your own Summer I Turned Pretty?
Long story short, he had been texting Megan. We shared a phone, I'm pretty sure. So he
was basically texting both.
It was basically a group chat at that point. He'd been texting Megan, but I liked him, and she knew I liked him when she started texting him. So I was like, I'm not going to have this. And she ended up getting the flu, and so she went like a week without talking to him because she was over the toilet. Oh my God, I'm terrible. I'm saying this out loud and I'm terrible. And then I snuck in and I talked to him, and when she did get upset, I was like, you knew I liked him and you went after it, so I don't know what to tell you. But then he ended up not being a very good boyfriend. So
did you end up dating him?
I did, for sure.
Did she ever date him?
No, not officially.
She wanted to.
She had a crush, and I think it would have passed really quick. Me and Megan have very opposite tastes in men, typically.
Okay, but you had a Summer I Turned Pretty moment, and now you say, how do we let this happen? It happened.
But that informs me even more now that you should never let
That's true.
a guy or girl come between brother or sisterhood.
It is true. And it's definitely like season 3 has me like on the edge of my seat waiting for more, but also cringing at the same time of like, how is this happening? And I really have been screaming, even from the beginning. I didn't want her to get married, even though I was Team Jeremiah in the beginning. I really didn't want her to get married, especially after you find out some information.
That felt so rushed, did it not?
Oh yeah, all of it. I was just like, what is happening, girlfriend? We got to grow up a little bit. And so I'm really glad, at least all the trailers are now showing us that she's supposed to be spending time in Paris. Mm-hmm. And I'm really excited for this because I feel like this is like the comeback she needs. And I want to see it happen. This is what I've kind of been waiting for in season 3. I feel like she really needed a little bit of glow up situation. Mm-hmm. And that's where we're at right now. And so I'm excited to see where it goes.
I hope she has a hard time in Paris. She really deserves it.
What?
She's not that good of a
Wait,
person.
so you're Team Jeremiah or Conrad, but not Belly?
I think they all are fairly unlikable. I feel like I lean more. And I've watched every episode of this stupid show.
So they're unlikable, but I'm still watching.
There are a lot of people out there like me that are watching and they don't know why. But I feel like I lean more Team Conrad because Jeremiah is just totally... He's a child.
For sure immature.
He was trying to rack up credit card debt and do all these. I guess that's a little bit of a spoiler, maybe not. And he's just not. Nobody needs to be getting married in this show. They're way too young. But I get it. It's a show. It's based on a book. Hopefully she goes to Paris and gets mugged and
Oh my God.
no, but she needs to go through some life on her own for sure.
She does need to go through some life, but damn, I didn't realize somebody was so against Team Belly.
When you texted me and you're like, I want to talk about the summer I turned pretty, I'm like, oh, I loathe her. Let's talk about it.
But it's fair, right? Like, but I also really relate to Belly, not in the sense of dating brothers.
really?
I've never been through that. But just in the fact of like life is messy and you can't make decisions and you feel a lot of feelings and you don't know how to handle them. Mm. And I don't know that she had a lot of tools to like handle them in the right way. You know what I mean? Like she just kind of kept bulldozing through instead of like sitting and thinking. And I think that's what a lot of us do in our early 20s and our, you know, young teen years where we're just figuring life out. Mm-hmm. So I think there's a part of me that like feels for her where I just want to like big sister her and be like, okay, we got to like take a look at the situation a little differently. I love Taylor. I'm a big fan of like the sub couples. I love watching like the sub character that aren't really the focus of the TV show. And Taylor's kind of part of that a little bit as we go through season 3. And she is just like, she has the strength that everybody hopes they have when they're that young. Mm-hmm. Like she's going to come out in her 30s and be like this powerful woman who like knows what she's worth.
For sure.
And Belly hasn't gotten to that point yet where she's even like the beginning stages. You know what I mean?
No, I totally get it. Taylor to me is a little bit more likable. Even she though was like getting in her own way a lot. Mm-hmm. I feel like all of these characters are really good at getting in their own way and making horrible decisions that are obviously horrible.
Okay, but how many times in your life did you get in your own way?
I mean, I'm doing it today, probably. I did it 30 minutes ago at some point.
And this is why it relates, and this is why we watch, because there's a part of us that's like, I was here at one moment or another.
Yeah, I never split up a family.
Well, not me neither, but
you know,
complicated
there's still time.
I've also never been engaged.
I'm more excited, honestly, about catching up on Wednesday. Have you seen any of that? We don't have to go too far down this rabbit hole, but
I haven't, but everybody talks about it. I'm not a big like horror or Halloween type fan. Is it in that?
It's category? A Tim Burton series. It's definitely, it feels younger than The Summer I Turned Pretty in ways, but it's entertaining.
Okay. You want to talk about a spinoff? It's not a spinoff, but it's literally basically the same thing. But My Life with the Walter Boys on Netflix.
I haven't seen it yet.
Okay. If you like The Summer I Turned Pretty, same-ish show, similar concepts. And it's a great, like, it's a good when I only get one episode of Summer I Turned Pretty. I was really excited because season 3 just came out and I binged the whole thing.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll try it. Will I hate it though based on what I've said?
You'll still hate it.
Never mind.
You'll still like it. It's still entertaining to watch. And it has Donna from Suits, who's one of my favorite actresses. Okay. She's so fun to watch. Yeah. And I don't know, it's another one of those teen dramas that'll just have you wrapped up in it for no reason.
Okay. I'll give it a look-see. I'll let you know.
But where do we stand? I'm team Belly needs to get her groove back.
I'm team the brothers need to build their relationship back up.
Okay.
While Belly finds herself.
Agreed.
In the Louvre or wherever she's at in Paris.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
She doesn't really deserve a summer abroad, but I hope she enjoys it.
Belly does not deserve anything according to Morgan. She's just a little messy, you know, and her heart's full of a lot of love.
Quite messy.
I do want to talk about Thomas Rhett having his 5th baby.
Yeah.
Because that was such a cute, unexpected announcement.
With his own song, which I think is so cool that he has such a catalog that he can use his own song for his own announcement.
Right.
At this point.
Well, and I just remember it doesn't feel very long ago when they first were trying to have a kid and then they adopted and this whole process. And now they have 5 children or about to have 5 children.
I'm very excited for them. We actually, a few months back, recorded a podcast episode for Josie, our veterinarian, at their house with Lauren. They have a beautiful, beautiful home. And I just walked around it thinking, I would have loved to grow up here. It's not like, it feels very lived in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's beautiful but comfy.
It's beautiful but comfy. And her energy was just so down to earth. That was the first time I'd ever spent any real time around her. And she just was a delight. That sounds so cheesy. She was a delight. But
Are you royalty now? You're using words like
delight. See, I'm coming back to the positive side because I just like reamed Belly so hard. And now I have good things to say. Lauren Akins is is awesome.
Oh, yeah. And she's, I mean, clearly a really good mom. They both are. I've had great experiences with Thomas. Like when I went out they sent me to Las Vegas to go see his show and did an interview before him. And he was just like, he's one of the kindest people. I think they both have that very much aura of kindness and compassion. And I think they just deserve all the happiness. So I wanted to mention that announcement because it was so stinking cute.
I also think it's cool they surround themselves with normal people. They feel like people you could bump into I have bumped into them at church, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just laid back.
Who else have you bumped into at church?
Shay Mooney and his wife. Nashville's a small town. You can bump into a lot of people at church, which I'm not ever going up to anyone in that sort of setting, or really any setting, because everybody's just trying to live. But it's cool to know that they are part of the community.
I also feel like church is one of those places that's off limits. I don't feel like you go up to people in a church.
I mean, maybe when the pastor goes, everybody say hi to your neighbor next to you, but I don't think.
Could you imagine in that moment? It's like, hi, Tom is right. Can I get a photo?
Oh my gosh. So bad. But I feel like Sundays are an important recharge day and just good for the soul and spirit. And so, let's not make it a photo op for sure.
Mm-hmm. That and funerals. I've definitely seen some interesting things at funerals.
Oh, yeah. Me too. Yeah, me too.
We don't have to get in that. That's morbid.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't.
You were talking about a video that you saw that was like majorly viral.
Yes. Did you see this video? It was women who work at an OB/GYN clinic in California, and they thought that they were doing something funny. They posted this video basically showing off, the little paper slip they put on the bed.
Yep.
Of basically where the women had been sitting, and there was like some residue,
bodily fluids
left behind.
Yeah.
And they made this mashup of all of the ones throughout, I guess, assume that day. And that pissed me off majorly. I don't know what's come of that, but there's so many people. First off, no one should be violated in that way. But I'm a person who has a lot of medical anxiety, and I don't like to be touched. I don't like to be naked around anyone. I'm very that makes me feel anxiety when I go into it.
Mm-hmm.
And if I saw someone do that after I left a procedure where I already felt very vulnerable and didn't want to be there.
Which the OBGYN is one of the most vulnerable. You are completely stripped down. You are completely exposed. There are things going in places that are very uncomfortable.
Exactly. And they're like, bring that freaking speculum out and putting all this lube on it and shoving it up there. Of course you're going to leak a little. Good God.
And we're already nervous that we're hiding our underwear, if that tells you anything.
We're folding our underwear perfectly and hiding it in our bra amongst our jeans. Like, we don't need one more thing to feel insecure about as women. We have plenty. So I hope those people who made that TikTok or whatever, I hope they sleep poorly for the rest of the year. Not the rest of your life, because everybody has a chance to be redeemed, but you deserve some bad things. I'm just saying.
They get the the warm side of the pillow every single night.
Yes, I want you to wake up sweltering every night.
And I'm happy to report to you that they have all been terminated. Anybody who participated in that video has been fired.
Was it worth it?
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
Was it worth it?
You know what? Let me tell you this. As someone who does make content and has to focus on, okay, what am I going to come up with to post? I'm going to tell you right now, it's never worth it. Like, if there is something that you can't live with for the rest of your life, do not post it. If you even have a smidge of a belief, hey, this doesn't feel super great, but I'm still going to do it. Or, hey, I don't know that I want to relive this in 15 years. Don't post it. Like, your digital footprint matters for the rest of your life. Even if you think you scrub stuff, it's still there. And there's a lot of things as like younger us can't go back and take back. But like you right now can make a decision. And these were grown women who made that decision.
Yes. And nobody was like, maybe we shouldn't. Hopefully there was one or two people that didn't want to be in the video. They were like, no, I think I'm out.
I would think that is likely, especially at a bigger office like that. But
you know what this reminds me of, though? Something that happened in my personal life
at
the OB clinic. This has been years ago, but it was when I was working on the morning show, and I literally had Cooch out in the stirrups, and the nurse brought up being a big listener and fan and was asking me questions about Bobby while I'm feeling the air of the room on my Cuccini, and this metal probe, like making sure.
I would die.
I was like, oh, time and place, I don't want to think of Bobby right now. But you've given me.
Also want to think about the fact that you're a fan of the show and you're looking at my hoochie coochie.
And you're looking at my hoochie coochie. And gosh, thank God TikTok didn't exist back then.
She'd be like, I just looked at Morgan from Bobby Bone's vagina.
And that was probably pre-you, so I couldn't have even been like, it was that other Morgan's vagina.
Oh my God, that's horrible.
Man. I wonder where she is now.
It's probably still doing that. Just, maybe a little bit more discreet, hopefully. That's rough.
I've been recognized some places, but that was the most peculiar for sure. Where's the weirdest place you've been recognized? You probably get recognized a lot.
I did. Well, I mentioned funerals. I did get recognized at a funeral.
How'd that go?
And I think it was like somebody that I knew, because I think it was a relative of a relative, and they just kind of made a comment. I was like, yeah, this is just really not what I want to talk about right now.
Was this for like your grandma?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And it's a close family member. You're really torn up, and you're thinking about Bobby.
And it was super sweet, because it was like, I always want people to come up to me, and I always want to talk about, and it was a good relief from everything that was happening. And it was a celebration of life, and everybody was hanging out. So it wasn't like this grim situation and they're like bringing up something like that. But it was definitely one of those moments where I was just like, that was an interesting choice.
Yeah.
And I respect it, because you obviously love the show enough to like want to talk to me.
That's the thing. I'm not ever going to be upset. It's not like I'm getting approached often. It happens a lot in Texas. Obviously I'm out there a lot, but it's just sometimes feel a little weirder than others. For sure.
Yeah. And that was definitely one of those. But it brought me a smile. So, but definitely not. I think the vagina is the worst. So,
oh, well, there might be one that sort of competes. That actually just happened a couple weeks ago with my sister. So whenever I visit her, that's when I tend to get recognized. And gosh, I sound like I get recognized out in public all the time, but we were at TJ Maxx or something, and Megan she looks different. She's got a little hair growing in, but we have gotten used to people staring at her out in public, and that's something that drives me nuts. It makes me want to beat someone up. And we were walking through this TJ Maxx, and I just noticed this woman staring at Megan like too long. And I was really upset by it, because I've just watched this happen time and time again, and Megan already feels insecure enough. And I saw her look over at me and then look away, because the look on my face was, bitch. It was like, are you ready to fight or what? And she ended up coming up to us later on in the store being like, hey, are you Morgan and Megan? Like, she follows Megan on TikTok and knew me from the show, and I just wanted to crawl into a hole. I was like, girl, I thought you were... Never mind.
You're like, I've been going through it. I really apologize.
That look I gave you, forget all about it.
I did. There was also, speaking of that, I did have another awkward encounter where somebody recognized me from the show, but they went a roundabout way of like making one of their friends come up to me and be like, hey, are you Morgan? I know you from the show. And I like acted like they were a listener. I was like, hey, how are you? It's nice to meet you. Thanks for listening to the show. Where are you from? Come to find out, like an hour later, it wasn't even him that listened. I was like, I feel like an idiot.
Yeah.
Because that made me feel like I do not care. You don't have to recognize me. You don't have to talk to me. If you do, I love that. That's so much fun. But
you're too chronically online if you recognize me. You know what I mean?
Yes, but it is like, I think of like reality TV shows, and I think about TV shows that people watch and stuff, and it's a similar concept, right? Like, people find their things that they love and they get really invested in it, and that's why it's so special. But just please, next time, just make it be you. I felt so dumb that I was talking to somebody who didn't even listen to the show, and I was
He's like, yeah, sure, cool. You're like, do you want a picture? He's like, I guess.
Like, my embarrassment level was at a 10.
And those are the things that keep us humble in life,
Yeah.
Everybody needs their thing that keeps them grounded.
Oh, and it happens few and far between. I get recognized maybe once or twice a year. This is not a majorly often thing.
Yeah, I feel like we're coming across like, oh, we're so great. Literally, it's just in Texas for me, and I think it's because we're on that. Y'all are on that
also,
station there.
your sister has gained a following on TikTok.
Yes. I mean, she has 300,000 followers on TikTok. And not to just talk about cancer the whole time, but it's crazy. She has gotten people, as she shared her story, the good, bad, and ugly, who have messaged her and been like, because of you, I just got diagnosed stage 1 and I don't even need to have chemo. Like, she's literally saved lives. And my sister is just the coolest person on earth. Like, do go up to her if you see her out in public and say something nice to her, because she needs all of the boosting we can give her.
And she deserves all that platform too.
She does.
Because that's what influencing is supposed to be, is influencing to make your life better. Not to make you feel worse about your life, not to make you think you need to change things about yourself. It's supposed to make you feel better. It's supposed to inform you, and it's supposed to help you. And that's going back to the root of that. And please do come up to Morgan and I also, just not preferably in a vagina situation or a funeral.
No more vagina or butt situations.
Last but not least, I did want to talk about AI a little bit.
Okay.
Because let me tell you this. As someone who is in social media content creation, AI, I love the creation of technology. I love when it helps us. It helps me in doing podcast editing. It's a huge driver. Same. But you know what I hate it about? Videos. I hate that AI videos are so massive right now. One, because it's creating fake big accounts that aren't anybody. It's just people creating fake content. And two, because they're starting to look so realistic that it's getting harder and harder to determine what's real and what's not.
I felt like a real boomer recently. I saw a video on TikTok of all these rabbits jumping on a trampoline.
I saw that one too.
And I was like, that's pretty crazy that they're all in tandem on the trampoline together. And then I saw one jump off and kind of like disappear. And I was massively humbled in that moment. I was like, oh my gosh, this is what the people feel who thought they were dating a celebrity and have sent all their life savings to. That's it. It could happen to any of us, honestly.
It literally did. And
I was ready to write a check to the rabbits.
And it's also not that unreal. You see a tiger jumping on a trampoline, yeah, fine. But rabbits on a trampoline, that could actually happen. Maybe not that many, but it could happen. And so when I saw that, I think everybody saw this video because it was massively viral, again, which pisses me off. And you do see the rabbit go out. And it took me like 5 minutes watching that video to be like, this is fake.
You watched that video for 5 minutes?
Okay, that was exaggerated. Maybe like a minute. But I was like, nah, never mind. It's not real.
Yeah.
And it just makes me sad because I think it's going to make our ability to have the distinction between real and fake so much harder than it already is.
I think about my nephews anytime stuff like this comes up, because I feel bad for the younger generation. Like, real authentic connection with real humans is getting harder and harder as years go by, and like apps are how people connect. And I just think to myself, what are my nephews? What is the world going to be like when Cooper is an adult, you know? And that's sort of a scary thought. But on a lighter note, AI, the videos are not the thing getting to me. It's the fake AI women.
Oh yeah, that's
on Instagram that are like bikinied up. And I'm thinking to myself, I'll scroll my Discover and see a girl and be like, oh my God, that's the most beautiful girl I've ever seen. I click on it and I'm like, this is an AI woman. I feel like that does terrible things for our,
to women, young and old. It's going
to women, but also to men. Like, I just feel like there's not anything super good that can come from that.
And let me tell you, this is a conspiracy theory a little bit, because I saw videos, some tech entrepreneur, he was talking about how he's on the side of AI and how...
Of course he is.
Well,
he's
hold on.
Making money.
Sorry. He's created AI, so he's familiar with it or whatever. Yeah. But he was talking about how AI has already like figured out how to have feelings, and like, I'm like, We're this cooked, movie, fam. We've seen this movie. This is my conspiracy theory.
Okay.
Is that movies, like especially sci-fi movies, are created to prepare us for that moment that's going to come.
What do you mean by that? So like, okay,
like,
say more.
And I don't know that it's all of them, but I think movies are how we really interpret movies are how we interpret a lot of what's happening in the world, right? Documentaries get made. People make movies about things that are happening. It's very much a like pop culture thing. And I've always felt like these sci-fi movies are a little bit ahead of their time. But you see twinges of
literally,
it.
they're like 3,000 years in the future generally. Yeah.
Yes, but you see twinges in the movie where you're like, that's kind of happening right now.
Yeah.
Or like, oh, I could see that happening. Oh, we're at the beginning phases of this. And you're just seeing it in fast forward. I really think movies, particularly sci-fi ones, are preparing us for these things to actually happen.
Like what specifically in these movies are you saying that you're like, that's going to be reality?
Oh, that I would have to start writing them down. But like, I just think of like
we're in flying cars.
Yeah, you think of Avengers and Tony Stark. We have Elon Musk. We're at the beginning stages of it. He's developing a whole lot of technology. We're probably going to have flying cars. There was a moment where there were super soldiers in the news. Like they were talking about these making super soldiers who were stronger. And I was like, this is freaking Captain America. And like, there was just and now we're in AI and we're thinking iRobot. Like, there's been so many moments in sci-fi that are monster movies. Sci-fi is blockbuster movies. A lot of people are watching them. So it would make sense that that's the easiest way for us to digest that information and prepare us for it to come. Again, conspiracy theory, it's probably not true and I'm crazy, but it's just, that's my thought.
I do think creatives, I can see your point a little bit, but I also think creatives and directors and like the people who produce movies, they also think about these things too, of like, they're trying to make some statement through their art, right? So that could definitely be a part of it. Like it's intermingled. I don't think like these people making movies are in on something that we're not necessarily.
Hey, we don't know. Okay. We don't know. These could be the ones who are actually from the future.
I worked at a national laboratory and I do know the confidential information.
Oh my God. Don't get me started on this. I learned something very new about Morgan this weekend.
My lore runs deep.
She was like, yeah, I spent like a summer in New Mexico with a boyfriend that I had working in a laboratory. I was like, hold on. All of that is new information.
It was Dexter's laboratory. No.
So funny.
But y'all were so shocked that I was like, yeah, I worked at this laboratory where they have the ingredients to make atomic bombs.
Yeah, because we've known you
for
for
like, wait a second, what?
7 or 8 years and you've yet to release that information until just this past weekend.
You never asked.
I didn't know I had to ask. I didn't even know that was a thing that existed. So much fun learning about your friends. That's a deep lore. That's
for sure.
That really is.
But I'm not at liberty to say more. And I definitely think that your idea about the sci-fi movies isn't real.
As she says eyes. I'm just saying. Okay. Anything else we want to touch on before we get out of here? Anything coming to top of mind? I feel like we really hit a lot.
What do you think the meaning of life is?
Oh my dear God.
Just kidding.
The meaning of life is to love fully and be present and to connect with others.
Okay.
What do you think is the meaning of life?
Girl, the longer I live, the less I know. I'm just here for the ride.
And that's where we end on Morgan being optimistic and the other Morgan being pessimistic, because that is our personality traits.
Literally, we're the opposite sides of a coin, for sure.
We are fraternal twins. Wait, what is the opposite of identical twins?
Fraternal, yeah.
Okay, so we're the fraternal, and obviously you have your identical twin, but I'm your fraternal twin.
That makes a lot of sense.
That's also why we're also both named Morgan. We need our own law firm. Okay, goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.